just the moonlight lighting up my way. There's no escape, so I let the breeze embrace me. Like a curse upon me, I'm forced into the solitude. The longer, the more that I fear. No matter how much I try to break free, it's like a shadow over me. Oh, I need to run away. Need someone who's gonna stay aside and guide me to a safer place. Yeah, I need to run away. Hold me tight and lead the way out of dusk into the dawn. Could that be you? No matter how tall the climb, I'll conquer them all. All I want is just someone who's gonna catch me when I fall. So where are you now? I'm waiting for your sign, 'cause I want you by my side. Oh, I need to run away. Need someone who's gonna stay aside and guide me to a safer place. Yeah, I need to run away. Hold me tight and lead the way out of dusk into the dawn. Could that be you?
Killer, but you put down, young bro. The task of a killer is to hunt, exterminate, what think twice, pick you up on my shoulder, go to hell or in a cut, like a crack, go insane, feel the pain, what a shame, think you bad when you climb, who could save you?
I got faster, Lordy, you first. I don't bad thing, you have no choice. Let me see, but be the road, beat, tie you up, hang you up, and cut you up. Find the first, but first, then I scare you off.
I don't wanna die, you're gonna give me now. I won't give all of that for what I die. Of course, matter what, it's my lifeline. I want need, I'm getting, I can't stop me now.
Just hold my hand tight. No matter what, I'm sure we'll make it through. As long as I got you, it ain't gonna matter how the path is gonna be. Yeah, that's the truth. We're gonna be set free if you come and skate with me. We'll be free, free, free. Oh, I need to run away. Need someone who's gonna stay and guide me to a safer place. Yeah, I need to run away. Hold me tight and lead the way out of dusk into the dawn. Could that be you? Out of dusk into the dawn. Could that be you? Out of dusk into the dawn. Could that be you? Out of dusk until the dawn. Could that be you?
Hey Bears! I am the Gaming Grizzly and welcome back to the summer tournament for our server. And today I am here with
Pop persuadable. What's going on, boo-boos? Good to be back.
and dude, I am super excited about today's tournament. I'm super excited about the matches that we are going to see. We're gonna see Eternal Soul competing against Riot as well as LBM going against No. But before we jump into these matches, I also want to address what happened yesterday on day one. We read the live chat of the tournament and we saw a lot of you being upset that Persuable and I didn't mention the skill gap between the teams. And we definitely want to make this right. We all saw the same matches. In general, you can expect a skill gap in tournaments, a gap that usually closes the further the tournament progresses, until we reach the final day where the skill gap is, almost non-existent. But again, we all saw the same matches yesterday. And to be completely truthful, Neither Persuable nor I were expecting to see that kind of tier gap during a tournament. It caught us completely off guard. And as MCs, we want to highlight the positive things during tournaments like this. And we want to make this a fun experience for everyone, for you as a viewer, as well as for all the players that are competing. We also want to be respectful to everyone who is taking part and putting themselves out there for thousands of people to watch. And we know we should have addressed the tier gaps yesterday, and I want to apologize that we didn't, because we simply didn't know how. Because again, it caught us completely off guard. We are going to do our part in making this a fun event for all of us during the upcoming days.
Yes, I agree with that. And, remember that it's also our responsibility to be as respectful as possible to all of the players. And no matter which way we approach that, it's not going to be right. And I'm just glad that we were respectful and kind to these players. I want to give a shout out to all of those competitors. You guys did a good job putting in your effort and skill. And there's been a little bit of a lineup change today. I know a lot of you were expecting B4U. But we really listened to the feedback, and we decided to make sure that today's event really had a lot of teams with a lot of good players, and a lot of good players that are closely resembled to one another, rather. That's a better way to put it. And so I'm happy to announce that all 4 teams will have tier 6 hunters, and I'm really excited for this gameplay, and I think that that's exactly what all of you want to see, as well as myself. And I hope we do a good job, and we got another 5 days to continue going forward.
I know that we are going to do an amazing job. Not gonna lie, yesterday was just day 1. We had a little bit of technical issues. We saw the tier gap was there. That was a little bit surprising for us. But I think it's just a learning curve. It was day 1. Things like that just happen, and we're gonna get through it. Again, 5 more days, and I'm super excited to see the final day where we can see the top teams compete against each other. But as you can see right here, today we're going to start off with Eternal Soul, the team that we already saw on yesterday's stream going against Riot. And after that, we have LBM going against No. Dude, I always have to count the no's. Like, I have my fingers up there and I'm like, no.
Just like snap your fingers as you're saying their name. No. And one of the things that we should mention with all these teams, they all have some really, really great players. The majority of them are tier 6 players. You should see some top players in this. And how about you, Grizzly, talk, in your opinion, as to what you think is going to occur?
Can you repeat the question? You were just cutting out for me.
Oh, was I cutting out for you? My question is what do you expect in this tournament? What do you expect between Eternal Soul and Riot? Do you have any expectations on Hunter selections?
Honestly, I kind of want to surprise myself, not making any prediction. I mean, we made some predictions yesterday, and it kind of worked out. It kind of didn't. I want to say that I am leaning towards the Bloody Queen, that we might see Bloody Queen. Eternal Soul was doing a fantastic job yesterday. What was the hunter pick for Eternal Soul yesterday?
He's the number 2 gamekeeper that we.
He is the number, right? I recall that, right? Exactly. So I think that we might see a gamekeeper at least in round 2. I would say we might see a Bloody Queen in round 1, but in round 2, I am expecting a gamekeeper if they are banning Bloody Queen, of course.
Right, and I think the scary thing here is Riot's Alien. He really specializes in what we spoke about yesterday a lot in regards to Blood Queen and Dream Witch. I know he's probably been practicing that Bonbon, and he's also a really great Wu Chang player. So no matter who you ban against Alien, he's going to have more weapons against you.
Yeah, that's probably right. But that's also the fun of this tournament. We're going to see some, especially with the bans, we're going to see some hunters that are off the meta. And dude, Eternal Soul versus Riot.
Right. And the big thing is that there's a lot of survivors on Eternal Soul, but I do know that they have 4 tier 6 survivors. So this is going to be some interesting gameplay that's about to happen. And tell us what you're seeing, Grizzly.
We can see the bans right now again. It's round 1. We only see a ban for the survivor side, and there we can see that the priestess is banned on the Sacred Heart Hospital. Now we are coming to the Hunter and the Survivor pick. Again, we have Ravioli right there. Top number 2 top gamekeeper. We see on the Survivor side a Seer, since the Seer wasn't banned. There we go. We have Seer forward, Mercenary, and Coordinator going against the gamekeeper.
Right, and that's a good strategy. I think that they expect Ravioli to pick that gamekeeper. And again, all of these survivors, you're going to see tier 6 survivors. Ravioli, also a tier 6 hunter, the rated number 2 gamekeeper, currently on NAEU. And it would make sense to ban Priestess because of that Sacred Heart Hospital. Grizzly, you ever go against a Priestess in the hospital?
Oh, dude. Priestess can actually be extremely dangerous, especially all around the hospital building. I mean, I am not one of these top players, but even I can sometimes utilize a Priestess good on Sacred Heart because there are just so many positions, so many locations where you can actually put down the portals. It makes a lot of sense to ban her, and this gave the Survivor side room to actually pick the Seer and the Mercenary as Great Kiter, and you know, coming in with that owl. Super excited to see what is going on. Super excited to see how these teams compete against each other.
I think this is going to be a good opportunity to really see Gamekeeper again in tournament gameplay, going against some of the higher tier survivors. These guys I've played with for a long time. I actually think I may have played QC the other day, and I did not enjoy myself as a hunter. I'm being so honest. He destroyed my photographer. I'm pretty sure it was him, and or QC in general, and I was not happy about my performance. The Coordinator can be a very big counter against that gamekeeper to buy a bunch of time. So, but yeah, interesting selection. I wonder who decided to go with Sacred Heart for the first round. This can be very difficult.
At this point in time, I expect a lot of people.
So we are jumping into the first match, Persuadable. Tell me a little bit about the layout. Tell me a little bit about the spawns right here.
It's hard to explain how.
Well, he's going to spawn right inside of this hospital, and it gets a little difficult because there's going to be somebody at Shack exactly where he's going to go, as well as somebody else. And so this is where he's going to rotate towards. And if he doesn't get Tinnitus at Shack, he's going to rotate towards Ruins. And this is where it's going to come down to what the survivors are able to do with their rotation skills.
Which is just insane.
Great job from the survivors. As you just mentioned, it is kind of a rough spot for the hunter to spawn, since there's basically only one way to go to the shack right here, and just, you know, running away, rotating around the map, getting a little bit of distance and wasting the time of the hunter. Great job from the survivors right here. He's trying to go for the forward. No, actually not wasting the time going for forward early. Forward can actually take a lot of time off the hunter's hands, especially early game. That's why he decided to change targets. He's now going for the Seer right here. QC that you just mentioned. There we go. Nice out. Perfectly timed out, not taking the hit. Getting away from the gamekeeper. I almost messed it up like you do. Gravekeeper, gamekeeper.
I'm telling you, it's difficult. I love this skin. You know, I'm not like a big skin guy, but I really like this skin.
Dude, that you're making that statement. I'm not the first to say something about a skin, and now you're coming in. That's
I think you're doing a good job at talking about the tactical gameplay. I'm over here trying to be Grizzly talking about skins. I think you're doing a wonderful job. And
Seer is actually doing yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is the dangerous part of utilizing allowing a Seer to come into the match. I mean, that one hit just can completely change the entire match. Using that owl, it can completely change the entire match. So, but you know, you can understand why a Priestess ban will occur on this map, because then, I mean, the portals in this area would just be ridiculous. So it's a difficult map for hunters for sure.
Absolutely, I can only agree. And what we can see right here, Seer doing a fantastic job just getting away from the gamekeeper, getting distance between himself and the gamekeeper. He must be aware of the hook that might come, trying to, you know, circle around these trees, around these obstacles. Good job getting closer to the Seer and giving the hit. Long hit through the pallet. Good job, fantastic. Ravioli is bringing the first survivor to the rocket chair. On the other side, survivors already decoded 3 Cypher machines right here. Fantastic teamwork. Seer is on the chair. Let's see what the teammates are doing. I also want to mention that I think it's a great addition that we can now see how far the ciphers have been decoded when the survivors are saying it right here. We get great insight, 38%. The coordinator is decoding. Ravioli
I don't
guarding.
think. Oh, good
Yeah,
job.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that the forwarder is doing a good job. All right, let's see. Gets that rescue down. Beautiful job from the forward. Is he gonna go for a stun here, or again? No, he's not gonna go for that stun because that tide turner just got activated. But again, it's really. I cannot stand going against Sears. I really can't. They're so difficult. No, I'm just gonna be blunt this time. I'm gonna be blunt and honest. Going against Sears is so difficult for some of these hunters.
Oh,
Beautiful stun.
good job. But still,
Oh, he
stopping the
dropped him
seer
just
right
in
there.
time.
Yeah,
Good job.
Yeah, he did. Look at this. Decoding is nice hit on the
Gets the
forward.
hit.
That might send the seer back right there on the chair. But again, we saw decoding progress is being made. One cipher machine is remaining. I am not sure about the. Oh, there we go. 59%, which means that we have a cipher machine being decoded quite soon, preparing for the cipher pop right here, and it seems like we have dude, really fast spinning hunter, the mercenary, coming in for the rescue.
He's looking around for sure.
He's waiting it out. He's waiting. All right, good job, good job,
Good-
making
wow.
it the chair. What a rescue! Cipher machine
That
is at
mercenary.
48%. We have the tide turner going on. That gives the survivors enough time, even if they are taking it, to bring down the last cipher machine, pop it right here. And now they are trying to get all survivors out of there, and Ravioli definitely wants to get at least one survivor on the chair again, because if they're getting 4 survivors out of there, that would be a 5-point game for Riot.
Yeah, he's really got to secure one of these kills. Let's see what he's going to do. He's looking for that tinnitus, and I mean, they did a really good job. And what do you do as a hunter on this map in terms of using Gamekeeper? If you get rid of Seer, then you can hopefully secure a kill fast, not worrying about the owl. But I mean,
Look at that.
Priestess-
Look at that.
Priestess is
There's
so
the dungeon
difficult.
right there. We have the dude. Look at this. Dungeon is right there. We have the coordinator with the
Good
flare gun.
job.
They were waiting for this. They were waiting.
Beautiful
for this.
flare gun. Good job from Mistaken Green. He's such a great player too, and he did the right thing. If anyone is questioning why he would use the flare gun, obviously he's using that flare gun to make sure that he doesn't worry about a hook and a detention shot if they end up utilizing that. So good game from Riot. Excellent game. Great job from the Seer.
Yeah, Seer was really buying a lot of time for the survivor team. We also had a great rescue from the forward as well as the mercenary, just giving the team enough time to bring down the cipher machines. And the coordination in general from this survivor team, absolutely fantastic. Mistaken Green saving up the flare gun till the very end to make it through the dungeon. This means Riot is now having 5 points. And if Eternal Soul cannot come up with another, with a clutch as well, with the 4 survivor elimination as well, that round would go to Riot.
Right. I think the ban makes sense. Well, not the ban, but I think the question is who is Riot going to ban next? Obviously they're not playing next, but when they do play, Ravioli is really well known for that Gamekeeper. So it's going to be interesting to see if they decide to ban the Blood Queen or continue staying comfortable and ban that Gamekeeper and kind of take that away from Ravioli's toolbox. And question is Ravioli going to whip out the bonbon like he did yesterday? Or
That's
she?
right. That's right. But all in all, we have to say Gamekeeper was doing a great job. There was just not much to do against this team. They were just really well coordinated. They brought down the cipher machines. They were rescuing. I'm curious to see how Eternal Soul is now doing on the survivor side.
Eternal Soul as the survivors, well, it's going to be very difficult for them for sure. iAlien has been playing for, I think, since season 1. I remember going against iAlien in the early seasons as well. So he's a great hunter, and he's got an extraordinary toolbox. For him, I would say that you should really, it's going to depend because it is Sacred Heart Hospital. And iAlien knows that different hunters excel on different maps. Not all hunters are created equal on all maps. But there are maybe 1 or 2 and those are usually, and I know everyone says that we keep talking about it all the time, but Blood Queen and Dream Witch, and he does excel in both of those, as well as Wu Chang, although he usually likes to play Wu Chang on Moonlit River. So this is going to be interesting to see how he's going to be able to overtake these survivors. If I recall correctly, now remember with Eternal Soul, there's a lot of survivors, but I'm pretty sure that their main starting lineup is tier 6s.
Yeah, all in all, it's pretty balanced today, and I want to stress this again. We have Eternal Soul in need to actually get 4 survivors out of there. That is putting Riot in pretty much of a huge advantage for the first round right here. All they have to do is they have to bring 1 survivor out of the game, and that would decide round number 1 for Riot.
Grizzly,
yeah.
when are you and I gonna make a team?
Honestly, I was thinking about that. We should get a
I'm
team
afraid
going
for
and-
the server. If you and I
Yeah,
make
dude.
a team, woo!
Dude, I don't want to steal the spotlight of anyone, right? That's the thing. I don't want to, like, I'm a pro gamer, and everyone who sees my streams and my gameplay, you guys know that I know how to play the game. I'm
No question.
playing it, dude. I'm playing this game for 2 years, and I absolutely feel like a pro gamer. Yeah.
Will you be our hunter?
Yeah, sure.
I see your streams. I see you getting a little angry. Are you the type that has to leave post chat right away? Because I am.
Oh, honestly, no. Honestly, I'm super friendly in post chat all of the times because there
I'm
are some
trying to
people
leave
that
post-chat.
recognize me. No, there are
I ain't
people that
gonna lie.
recognize me, and I'm always spreading love, and I love the game. I know that I'm not the best, and that's fair enough. But let's get back to the game right here. We are back at the pick and bans. We saw the Seer buying a lot of time for the Survivor team, and this time we have iAlien banning the Seer. On the Survivor side, we can see the picks. It is the Prisoner, it is a Perfumer. We might expect a Mercenary as well. Oh, First Officer. All right, that's definitely something
There we
I'm
go.
looking forward to see. And there we have the Mercenary I was talking about.
And well, let's see who iAlien's going to choose. Yeah, all of the survivors. Paprika is a I think I said that name correctly, is a very good tier 5 survivor. The other 3 are tier 6s, and iAlien tier 6 hunter. So it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses. I do expect either a Blood Queen or a Dream Witch from him, and we'll see if he has any tricks up his sleeve. I mean, he's great with both of those hunters. And remember, Sacred Heart Hospital can be very difficult for hunters. And that's why a lot of hunters usually decide to go with Bloody Queen on this map. So we'll see where his mindset is and where his strategy is, and we'll see how he does. But expect some great gameplay out of this, and I'm just very excited for this day and for these 4 teams to duke it out. I'm very excited to see what's going to come out from this.
Same thing here. And to be completely honest, I am always more excited to see round number 2, and I'm always hoping, secretly I'm always hoping to see a round 3, because that would mean more hunter bans, and we would see more hunters being utilized that are off meta, that are out of the comfort zone of these hunters. So for now, again, we are still waiting for iAlien. I would make the same prediction as you just did. I would think we might see. We say this a lot, yeah, but what is there to say? Bloody Queen is just an extremely powerful hunter, an extremely dangerous hunter on Sacred Heart or in general, and therefore I'm predicting to see a Bloody Queen right now.
Hey, Grizzly.
Yes, persuadable.
If we make a team and you're a hunter main, I will only join your team if you play Feaster.
I will definitely, dude. Hey, I am switching over to Guard 26. Recently, I saw a lot of hunter players using Guard 26, and I take so much inspiration from them. I was actually on one of my streams playing with Daku, one of top. Oh, there we go, Bloody Queen, one of the top Guard 26 players, and I learned so much. So I would definitely play Guard 26,
Yeah.
but I would have Feaster up my sleeve.
Oh no, definitely. I've started using Bonbon and my win rate went from 90% to 68. So I'm not lying though. That's the bad part. All right. So we have a Bloody Queen, and this is one of the benefits. She's gonna run right towards ruins over here, knowing that somebody spawns over here, and it's a powerful spawn point for a hunter because you can go either right or left. So the question is this player going to be able to hide? But very difficult to do that against a Bloody Queen. Yeah, that's a really good hit. Very strong Blood Queen usage here.
Yeah, early hit on the prisoner right there while he was still setting up his little connection between the cipher machines. Good job putting pressure on the survivors. Prisoner is also one of the stronger decoders. And beautiful. Dodging that pallet right there. That was absolutely beautiful. You can now see Mercenary is going back to the cipher machine because Bloody Queen is definitely concentrating on the already hit prisoner, switching the mirror over there, and there comes the long strike. We have the first survivor down, iAlien doing a fantastic job, still 5 cipher machines up and running and still putting pressure on the Mercenary over there, bringing the prisoner to the chest.
Excellent work. Already got somebody down based on the ability to use those mirrors so accurately, and even predicted where he was going to be, and was able to dodge that pallet stun, expecting a Mercenary to be there. This is a hunter that has not only memorized the spawns, but also where these survivors are transitioned into from those spawns and where they're most likely going to stay. So that was an excellent job from him, and here we go.
I just love to see how iAlien was putting pressure on the perfumer as well, why he was protecting the prisoner on the chair, and the first officer was also coming in. That's just top tier gameplay, putting pressure on the cipher machines. We can still see it. We have 5 cipher machines remaining. Prisoner is down again. First officer already took a hit. More pressure on the first officer right here. Fantastic call from iAlien, concentrating on the first officer as well. Just, to slow down the cipher machine progress while the
he has time to spare though. He's doing a good job. He knows that he knocked this person down. He's got some time to go and try to secure another person down. And I mean, that's what makes first officer so scary though. Try going against a first officer as photographer. It's brutal.
I have to be honest, whenever I go against the first officer, it can be extremely destroying. Especially with this about 1 second delay that you see. There we go, we have the first officer down. We can see the Mercenary is rushing in for the rescue, needed rescue right here. And I want to repeat myself, I want to say it again. The survivors need to get all survivors through the exit gate to make this a tie for the first round. And they know this, Prisoner will go down if iAlien is able to get the prisoner to the rocket chair again. This might be the win for the first round for Riot.
There we go. Yep, so this is going to be a secured win for iAlien, unless I don't think they really have any harassers on the team. So again, this is what really makes Bloody Queen very scary. She's a very, very scary hunter to go against, and excellent gameplay from iAlien, really showing how to use those mirrors. Not only that, really though, Grizzly, is what separates a really, really good Blood Queen from a Bloody Queen that's still trying to learn the game is the ability to down somebody and still use your mirror's time to try to harass somebody on the cipher machine. Whereas a lot of the newer hunters, what they do is they get that tunnel vision. They're like, I gotta pick this survivor up right away, and there's circumstances to do that, cowboy forward. But really, iAlien takes his time, harasses other survivors, and really is patient, and that patience is paying off for him.
Exactly, that's exactly what we are seeing in this match right here. Just, using the mirror, just slowing down the progress on the cipher machines, putting pressure on the entire team. Look at that, being just patient with the mirror as well, and might use it right there. Good job. iAlien really knows how to get... Oh! First officer making iAlien fall down through the hole. That was actually... Fantastic job.
That was good.
Job. Yeah.
That was a very good job from the first officer. Let's see what he's gonna do here. He's gonna hop this, try to get a boost.
Giving the team a lot of time right there. We can see there's only 1 cipher machine remaining. First officer doing a good job, good job. And we can see Perfumer and Mercenary Oh,
Beautiful
that's good.
movements from Duck. He's doing a great job with these movements, though.
Not much to do right here, though, being pinned in between the mirror as well as the hunter. And we can see Cypher Machine is not ready yet. It is at 68%, which means they still need a little bit more time. But first officer on the rocket chair for the first time should give one of the two survivors, either Mercenary or Perfumer. Perfumer is coming in enough time to rescue, make the Cypher pop happen, and, you know, maybe even get out of there with 3 survivors.
Yeah. Even with the 3 survivors, though, the round is still going to go to Riot for this. But I appreciate that they're still giving it their all and they're still playing like it's a regular match. I do like that. I appreciate that.
Mercenary taking the first hit. We can also see that both survivors were rotating away from the Cypher Machine. Not really sure if the Cypher Machine is already primed. Oh, it is. It seems like it is. Okay, Mercenary trying to struggle his way to the rocket chair, trying to rescue in time. Oh,
beautiful rescue. Beautiful rescue.
Nice. Cypher Pop is coming through. We now have 3 survivors trying to get out of there through the gate. But Mercenary is a little bit in a rough spot right there, going down to the Bloody Queen.
No, it doesn't look like that Cypher Machine was primed. Again, using the mirror to push off that Perfumer and the Mercenary was a really good move from iAlien and bought them a bunch of time.
I actually didn't see the mirror, to be honest.
Oh wait, no, it did get popped. When did it get popped? Where am I? Grizzly.
It got popped.
When did it get popped? I saw 48%.
No, after the rescue. The Mercenary rescue.
Oh, it
he
did
was
get
already taking. Yeah. That was actually
I
a good
need
call.
more coffee.
Okay, we can now see.
I don't know what I'm doing.
We can see the first officer Duck trying to get to the gate as well. We have the Perfumer already leaving. That means the dungeon is also open. You can really see. Oh, there we go. Throw it down, and iAlien really being patient right there, hitting the first officer. Fantastic job from the survivors, but iAlien was just putting a lot of pressure on the entire map, on the entire survivor team. GG's. First round goes to Riot, since they're getting 3 points out of this game. Fantastic job.
And you know what the scary thing is that even if you try to ban Bloody Queen, I know I mentioned this a few times, but he has so many weapons. There's so many weapons that he has. So excellent job from him using that mirror right away. Again, that's how you know that the hunter has memorized the spawn points, memorized the rotations, and the ability to really avoid that pallet stun from the Mercenary is the reason why he was able to catch up and secure that first down in the match. If he got stunned, he could have tried the mirror, but that would have bought a lot of time for that survivor to try to relocate to the hospital. So that was such an important moment, and hats off to the first officer. That was a great little trick, making him fall down the hole in that hospital. So excellent gameplay from everybody, and I'm not gonna lie, this is the gameplay that I'm excited to see and excited to MC for, and seeing all of the complex motions and movements of these teams. That's what I want to see, and I'm very excited to be able to MC this today.
That was such a beautiful move from the first officer in the building. I honestly, I did not expect to see iAlien falling through the hole right there, and the first officer just buying him much more time for the team. And in general, you can just say that all the survivors were doing a fantastic job. We had iAlien right there putting so much pressure on the entire team. All of the times, they were still able to bring down 5 Cypher Machines, pulling off the rescues right there. In the end, 3 survivors were eliminated, but what I saw from the survivors, they did a fantastic job.
And the question is, Grizzly, does Eternal Soul survivors go up again now against iAlien, or does it rotate?
I actually think we're gonna see iAlien on the hunter side again. Yes, I think.
Right. And the question is which map is going to be selected and which hunter are they going to get rid of? And I have a feeling it might be that Bloody Queen, but yeah, we'll see. Everything is relative to that map, especially if you choose a big map. You know, in terms of the character selection, you can expect possibly a Wu Chang or any of those hunters, but we'll see. And on that note, we are going to go to break. Thank you, everybody, for being with us so far. We'll be in the chat saying hi. Hey, Biz, we're back.
Hey, Biz! Welcome back!
I didn't tell Grizzly I was doing that. That's
He was
hey,
just
at
like,
least I kept it genuine.
let me introduce us back. Let me introduce us
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Like,
I was like,
sure?
let me introduce us. Grizzly gives me the he gives me the chance one time, and look what happens. This is why you don't let me play with things.
That's right. That's right.
So we are going to most likely see Alien come up first again with the Hunter. At least that's what I'm expecting. But you know how did I miss that Cypher pop? You know what that reminded me of, Grizzly?
No, tell me.
I was like, what if he doesn't say what? What if he just leaves me hanging right there and just
Like,
ignores
no,
me?
I don't care.
Yeah, but imagine you just stare at me inside the webcam like. It reminds me of one of the first NAEU tournaments that I ever emceed, and I got so it was actually when Team Lamborghini was going against, I think, Team Alpha, and this was 2 years ago, and it was my first time emceeing for Identity 5, and I was so excited. I was like, I can't wait for the next round. I can't wait for the next round. And then the developers are writing to me. They're like, Persuable, the tournament's over. Like
there's no next one. I remember that. I watched that.
Yeah,
I remember
that was
that.
so embarrassed. I mess up every time.
I mean, it's not really embarrassing. Sometimes you just miss a few little details. So, you know
Well,
what? We're
picking
gonna jump
bands.
into. Yeah, exactly.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so quick with it. I was so quick. I was concise. Pick some bands. There you go, Grizzly. Take it off.
There we go. And we're actually seeing Ravioli on the Hunter side right now. I was actually thinking the same thing. I thought we would see Alien on the Hunter side, but it is Ravioli. They are definitely banning the Gamekeeper. At least it looks like it. So just block is the Gamekeeper. There we go, because Ravioli, we already saw him being the Gamekeeper. Absolutely dangerous, even if... Wait, sorry.
No, you're right.
Riot
Gamekeeper ban.
Yeah, even if Riot was doing a fantastic job in the first round and got against the Gamekeeper, they still want to ban the Gamekeeper. We see Seer and Priestess ban. We have the Munidora Park map, so that is absolutely the right bans right there. Priestess can be destroying on the Munidora Park as well as Seer in general. On the Survivor side, we can see the Gravekeeper being utilized, as well as the Forward, the Mercenary, and the Coordinator. Not really sure if Ravioli is going with the Hellenber. No, he is switching to a different one. I asked you this off stream if you know what we could expect from Ravioli right there, and I was thinking about a Bloody Queen, but it seems like we're gonna see a different Hunter. What do you think about this?
He really specializes in that Gamekeeper. Riot has done their research. They always do their research, and they know that's what Ravioli is really well known for, so that's why they're going to ban him. I really don't know what to expect for the second Hunter, but it does appear that they're going to use Spider. And again, for all the people who are watching with Riot, they're all Tier 6 survivors, and Ravioli is a Tier 6 Hunter, so we're seeing all Tier 6. And I don't know really what's happening here, because typically speaking, you pick your survivors first, and you're not allowed to change once the Hunter is chosen. So I think right now Ravioli is just waiting for the survivors to pick their characters, and then he's going to show his. But I don't really know what's going on right now. And yeah, but Moonlit was decided, and that's a interesting map because it's a very big map. A very, very big map. So this is usually when...
I'm sorry that I have to interrupt. Look at him just giving me hope for the Feaster right there. Dude, that's... I'm sitting at the edge of my chair right now, like, come on, ready up with the Feaster. I would love to see that.
Yeah. Feaster on Moonlit. No, don't apologize. See, this is what happens. We have to MC over this, and usually in like the co-op, the characters just...
Oh, he read it up as Feaster! No way! Dude, I thought he teased me right there, but no, we're gonna see the Feaster, Munidora Park. Let's go! I'm excited.
There we go, and we'll talk real quick about the strategy, and then we're gonna see what those beer eyes are telling us from Gaming Grizzly. So here, what we're seeing is that this is going to be a group 7. So typically, someone is going to be at 4th stop, and that's where he may go. But there's working carousel. You see Haku trying to hide over there. It's very difficult to hide against a feaster though, because when he puts his tentacle up, it actually points in the direction that the hunter, you actually don't have to release the tentacle if you don't want to. But yeah, there's 2 survivors over here. One over here, we call this working carousel, and one at 4th stop. So this is a spawn point that really helps the hunter out. Sometimes, it depends. Usually people at working carousel here will rotate towards tent. And let's see what they're going to do. What do you think, Grizzly?
Great tentacle right there, blocking the way of Hako. He's really... Oh, there we go. Hit the Grave Keeper underneath the surface. That's like a... Oh. Yeah, that's a really good location for Hako to be in. Just throwing down a few pellets and being able to, you know, use his skill going underneath these pellets, making him an extremely strong kiter, especially early game. You can see he's doing a fantastic job, just buying some time for his team, going around, going underneath these pellets. That's what I just said right here, forcing the hunter to destroy these pellets, because Ace Hunter cannot keep up.
That was so
Fantastic
close.
Job dodging these tentacles. Again, forcing the hunter to destroy this pellet and really buying some time for the team.
Gravekeeper did an excellent job here, because what he did is he threw all of those pallets down, understood that the feaster was not taking them down, which makes sense because sometimes you don't want to take those down if you think that you can follow up with a hit.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
timing!
beautiful.
That was extremely good. Now he is out of his skill, which means that he is an easier target for Ravioli right here. Still got to be careful. Oh, nice blink!
Beautiful
hitting.
blink.
Gravekeeper, fantastic job. Bring down the Gravekeeper. We have 4 Cypher Machines remaining, but there should be a few more popping right there. We have 3 Cypher Machines remaining. Ravioli is bringing Hako to the rocket chair. First time, first survivor.
Again, great kite though. I mean, you know, you got 3 ciphers that are down, 2 ciphers that are left up, especially with a mercenary and a forward who are decoding. That's a long kite. And he did a very good job using the environment, and we're going to see if mercenary can pull something off here.
Really protecting the rocket chair with a bunch of tentacles right there. Missing the first one. And got rescued and hit the mercenary, allowing Haku to get a little bit of distance away from the hunter. But obviously, Ravioli is concentrating on the Gravekeeper right now. Already brought him to the rocket chair once, so he wants to do it again. Not really concentrating on the mercenary. It's gonna be... We can see Cypher Machine is 55% decoded. Gotta be careful. And that's... Oh!
Beautiful.
Getting out of there.
Beautiful move from that Gravekeeper. They're down to... I wonder what their progress is on the Cypher Machines. It's gotta be... Oh, there we go. It's like he knew I asked.
Yeah.
Thank you, Green. Hey!
He heard
I
you.
gotta help out my guy. I gotta help out. He's asking the Cypher progress. I gotta go over here and let him know.
So there we go.
See
We
what
have the Gravekeeper on the chair. Second time. We can already see that the fort is going in for a rescue. We have 1 Cypher Machine remaining. The Cypher Machine should be... Not really sure. Now I'm curious to see the progress on the Cypher Machine.
I'm sure it's probably close to prime, but this is one of the strategies. You have 3
66.
survivors who are good at rescuing. I mean...
Gotta be careful, Gravekeeper's off the chair. He was concentrating on the coordinator right here, allowing the fort to actually rescue the Gravekeeper, and now the Cypher Machine is pretty close. 85%.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Cypher remaining because I am not missing the Cypher pop this time. That's all I care about right now.
Okay, I think the Cypher Machine should be primed by now.
Well,
He's
what's going to be
nice.
interesting is uh-oh.
Cypher Machine pop is happening. We can see him taking Queen.
Oh.
Definitely.
Did he lag right there?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
was
definitely
working on
lagged
the
right
top.
there.
Fantastic
That was a good Cypher
pop.
pop too. Yeah, that was a good Cypher pop. Usually, one of the strategies that you try to do as a feaster is you, sometimes it's better to just wait it out and just keep spawning tentacles until you can get that second hit. Because then when they pop it up, you're ready to take that regular attack. So This Feaster is going to be as aggressive as he can. Ravioli understands that Riot's a really good team. He's got to try to at least get 2 people down. He doesn't need to, but he knows that it'll put a lot of pressure off of his team. But yeah, Coordinator got rescued over there, so we'll have to see what he can do.
Water's down right there. It would have been fantastic for Ravioli if he would have found the Gravekeeper, because Gravekeeper would be dead on chair, giving him time to actually find a second survivor. But since he found the forward, this might actually... Oh, look at this. Mistaken Green is still standing in front of the rocket chair where he or she was rescued from. That might actually be a huge problem, to be honest, for the survivor team.
It's definitely a questionable call, just because I understand the idea of doing that, but you also want to make sure that you're not going to get 4-man. So maybe Ravioli thinks that, you know, I can definitely secure that 1 kill either way, because if I recall correctly, the exit gate wasn't down, and so he's got to make a choice here. But that teleport put him in a dangerous position.
You can see, I'm not sure, is the exit gate over there opened? Not yet.
No, it's not
closed,
open,
right?
so it's working in his favor for sure.
I see.
The issue is that the tension's running out.
Okay, I was actually talking about Mistaken Cream. Mistaken Cream was standing in front of the rocket chair, even if she or he was rescued. Made it to the exit gate, so everything is fine. There was a little bit of a lag, there was a little bit of a connection issue. Still made it to the exit gate. We can see Forward and Coordinator running to the gate. Now the question is, who can be there faster, Ravioli or the survivors? It seems like we have the survivor team getting out of there with 4 survivors.
4-person escape from Team Riot. That now means that as long as iAlien can eliminate 1 person, they're going to proceed to the next round. So this is going to be very, very difficult for Eternal Soul, just because, I mean, iAlien is a really good hunter, and the 4-man iAlien is a very, very difficult thing to do. So, but one thing that we don't ever want to do is underestimate the power of a competitor in Eternal Soul. They might have some eternal magic. I thought that was a good joke. I tried. Oh God, my jokes are so cringy.
I think so.
Hey, at least I admit it.
I mean,
I admit it. I have insight. I have insight. I'm not.
Okay, so I think the very same. I think that if someone can turn it around, it can be still Eternal Soul. They have the Eternal Flame burning inside their chest. And if someone can turn around the tables right here, it can be Eternal Soul. And they actually have to do it, because as you can see down here, we have Riot winning the first round. They are pretty good on round 2 right here. If Eternal Soul is able to tie round 2, we're going to see a round 3. But as soon as iAlien is bringing down 1 survivor, this will decide round 2 for Riot, in favor of Riot. And this will also mean that Riot will advance into the next bracket. But again, we still have to wait and see how Eternal Soul's survivor will perform.
And this is the difficult thing about going against such a good hunter like iAlien. I mean, again, these are tier 6 survivors, tier 5 survivors. They're doing the best that they can. But the ability, I know what I'm talking about next round, and that's what I'm doing. I'm talking about next round. And what I mean by that is that it's going to be very difficult for them to get that 4-person victory against them, especially if you use Trump's card with detention. It's going to be very difficult. And they did a really good job at Kite. And I mean, that Gravekeeper did a very good job. What have you used Gravekeeper, Grizzly? Do you use them a lot?
I don't use him a lot because no.
Who do you use?
Forward. I'm not good. I'm not good with the forward, but
You're a forward player?
Yeah, I'm a forward main. I kind of need a survivor that can kite, that can vault pellets fast, that can throw pellets fast. I can't play these, mechanic throwing down speed of a pellet about 200 years. No, I can't work with that. I'm sorry. I'm a forward main, yeah.
I remember back in the day, the first video you ever asked me to critique your gameplay, and you were a forward. This was almost 2 years ago. You were a forward, and every pallet you ran by, you threw down, and there was no hunter near you. You were on Lakeside, and you just throw every pallet down. You're just like, oh, there's a pallet, gonna throw it down. Oh, there's a pallet. You're like the I don't even know. I don't have a good joke, but I'm just saying. So do you still do that? You just throw every pallet down?
I have to be honest, I do not wait until the hunter is in close range. I'm not throwing down every single pallet, but I still like to throw down the pallet. But let's go back to the game. What we can see right here is the Bloody Queen ban. I mean, that was a predictable ban because we saw iAlien utilizing the Bloody Queen on Sacred Heart earlier. Just doing a fantastic job getting 3 survivors. Yeah, getting a 3 survivor elimination. We can now see that iAlien has to pick a different hunter on Moonlit River Park. He is also banning Seer and Priestess, just as Eternal Soul was doing it before. Now I'm curious to see what iAlien will... Oh, maybe not going for the Priestess, but for the Mercenary ban. And again, I'm curious to see what iAlien has up his sleeve now. Are we seeing Wu Chang on this map? Are we seeing a different hunter? What is your prediction?
He's either going to play Wu Chang or Dream Witch, most likely. That's what I would predict. He might throw us off as well, because remember, he only needs to get 1 kill. So the question is do you play your characters that you're comfortable with and show your opponents all of your cards for later rounds if you're able to get to the later rounds? Or do you throw them off and play a character so, you know, next time you go against another team, they expect you to play that character. So it's going to be interesting to see what his long-term and short-term strategy is. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see either a Wu Chang. There we go. We're getting that Wu Chang in. Grizzly, just as a quick reminder, these are, 1 tier 5, 3 tier 6 survivors. They won yesterday, Eternal Soul. Now they're going against Riot, and iAlien is one of the best hunters in the game, hands down. And this should be an exciting match. And one elimination means that Riot proceeds to the next round.
I'm absolutely looking forward for this match, and it really doesn't matter what iAlien is using, which hunter iAlien is using. I'm looking forward to see all of his plays, because as you already mentioned, he is one of the top players, one of the top hunters on our server. So it's always exciting to see iAlien in action. On the survivor side, just want to talk about the survivors that we are seeing. It is Prisoner, it is Gravekeeper, it is the Acrobat, and we can also see that Duck is actually utilizing the Priestess that was almost banned right here.
Portal!
I don't get the joke, but I like it. Portal! Can you explain this joke to me, please?
No.
No. Okay, alright. Just keep your secret. I didn't care anyway.
You know what's funny is that I'm trying to let my personality out right now, like, what everyone... But the problem is that I get so focused when it comes to tournament gameplay and analysis that I feel like a laser right now. Like, I'm just like, what's going to happen? What's happening? What are they doing? What route are they running? Where's the rotation? And so I'm trying to relax, you know what I mean? Like, let out that side that everyone knows, but man, I get so I am like a laser today, man. I'm just really excited to see what everyone's going to do. And Acrobat is very, very strong on Moonlit. There's some very strong areas to use those balls, but remember, Wu Chang is somewhat to a degree a counter to that with the umbrella.
And it seems like the match is about to start. I just want to say that I appreciate you for that, for being that focused, for giving us the insights, the strategies, the spawn routes. That really, really helps me, and I think also the viewers right here.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry. This group, you like that? You like that? This is group number 4, what we're seeing. So typically there'll be somebody at God spawn, which he isn't going to. He's going to go right towards over here. Oh my God, beautiful. Beautiful move. He expected that rotation. Grizzly, what's so exceptional about what iAlien just did is that there's 3 people who spawn kind of in a linear aspect, and one's in God spawn, one's in 2-story right here, and one's right outside 2 stories on main door. And what's exciting about this is that iAlien, he didn't umbrella to one of the spawns. He umbrellaed to the cipher that he knew one of the spawns was relocating to, and that was really, really good.
That was extremely good, and also landing the hit right away after using his umbrella. Fantastic job, just showing us the skill of iAlien. Now faking the umbrella, going there, waiting for the priestess, giving her the hit. First survivors down. Really, really good job. There was not much to do for the Priestess. Either Priestess was waiting for Ialian to come up or vaulting the window and seeing Ialian. Oh, dropped her in time. Seeing Ialian teleporting in front of her.
The other thing too, what should be noted is that Priestess didn't have a portal left until, you know, right when Priestess went down, so there was no way to counter that strategy that they did against Ialien. That was a beautiful move with that umbrella to counter her.
We can see that Prisoner got scared off right there by taking the hit. We have the Gravekeeper coming in, taking a hit, rescuing the Priestess. Now let's see. Oh, going for... Okay. Not... Oh, we can see Priestess throwing out a lot of pellets, just as I am used to. For, most likely for the Gravekeeper to, you know, fight around as well.
See what Priestess I believe had, does she? Oh, beautiful move.
Who's going to talk first?
Hey, you know what? I talk too much. I talk too much. I'm actually excited that you know what? You know what? I'm gonna call you out right now, right? I go on. People be like, "Yo, Bruce, why you talk so much?" And I talk so much because you tell me to talk so much. So I'm excited that you're doing great game analysis, and I get to relax. I'm chilling.
I'm taking responsibility for that. That's actually right. I'm telling you to talk more. So let's go back to the Priestess right here. She's on the chair. Gravekeeper was trying to rescue, wasn't able to get through. We have the Priestess out of the game. We already said this before. Ialian only need one survivor out of this match to decide this round for Riot, and that also means they decided the first 2 rounds for themselves. Means that Riot's Ialian just brought their entire team into the next bracket. That's what it means. We have Ialian still going against the survivors. We have the Prisoner right here on the chair in a few seconds. Gravekeeper is already injured, will most likely not come in for a rescue. So what I expect to see is the Acrobat. Oh, actually teleporting on the Gravekeeper right there. Fantastic job. I didn't see that the Acrobat was far away, not going in for the rescue. Still going to decode there at 3 Cypher machines. There's not much to do for Eternal Soul at this point.
Shows you how scary his Wu Chang is, and that was something that I talked about even before any of the matches started. And this is why Wu Chang is used on maps like Moonlit, where especially after Bloody Queen is banned, you see Wu Chang being used as a second option on matches like Lakeside and Moonlit, because a lot of the other hunters can lack map presence. So really, especially after the buff that Wu Chang got for white form with that increased attack range, we've seen Wu Chang being utilized even more specifically in tournament gameplay. And really, that move though in the double story Grizzly was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful move to counter that Priestess. It really, really was.
That was extremely fast. All of Ialian's move against the Priestess early game were just extremely impressive. The teleportation that you mentioned to a Cypher machine where she rotated to, predicted her to go to that Cypher machine, giving her an initial hit at the first, I would even say 5 seconds of the game, and then kind of forcing her to ward the window and teleporting over there. Great job. Ialian's Wu Chang, which we are seeing.
I think he's on the carousel.
He is.
I think, yeah.
I mean, hey, why not having a little bit of fun, right? As long as you can just enjoy your ride right here.
He's just...
Ialian, yeah, he's just like, alright, I'm gonna let you... Oh,
he's just... Left. No, Ialian's got a good sense of humor. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
I mean, as
what I don't understand is what I don't understand though is the kiting afterwards. The matches.
Oh, yeah,
hey, you know what? I guess he's not giving up.
Exactly. They just want to put up a fight right there. Oh, nice call. But good job. Not gonna lie, good job from the Acrobat right here.
I feel bad for Ialian because at first he probably thought like, all right, he's just gonna go, and then the guy starts kiting, and Ialian's like, you really want to play this game?
Dude! Oh, I didn't know that you can jump that far. Great job.
Oh yeah, Acrobat on Moonlit.
Oh, that was a
beautiful
nice
move.
one.
Beautiful
That's
move.
umbrella hit.
Look at I. He's just gonna leave. I have no idea what's going on right now.
I mean, we already mentioned it. The game
There we
was
go.
already over. Because Survivor was going down. They were just having a little bit of fun at the end.
There
Good
we
job
go.
from both sides. Good job from both sides. But we just have to give it to IA, and he was an extremely powerful, dangerous hunter, not allowing these survivors to get out of there. GG's.
That early game, that early game umbrella though was a game changer again. That's
Yeah.
one of the nice things about Wu Chang is that he has the ability to predict movements, and if you can umbrella right on top of him. As an example with that, remember that's a group 4 layout. You have 3 people who are relatively close to each other. One right outside double story at the main door, one in double story, and one what we call God spawn. And if you're a regular hunter, you have to, obviously manually run over there. But as a Wu Chang, he was able to predict the individual, I believe, that was outside a 2-story spawn who rotated to that cipher. I mean, and that takes an incredible amount of skill, Grizzly, because not only do you have to worry about your spawn point, but you also have to pay very close attention to the cipher spawn points to see if that trick is even going to work. And really, it just demonstrates really why he is such a great Wu Chang player. And I expect to see Wu Chang later on in the later rounds as well.
Same, absolutely the same. And we can see it down here right there. Round number 1 and round number 2 was decided in Riot's favor. I honestly was kind of hoping to see a round 3, kind of hoping to see Ravioli's Hunter pick for round 3, because we already saw that he was going for Gamekeeper as well as Feaster. I would have loved to see him in round 3 and see which hunter he would pick in round 3, but Alien just coming through with the Bloody Queen as well as Wu Chang, and just, no mercy right there, bringing down the survivors and advancing with the team, with Riot, into the next bracket. And what we are up to next is LBM versus no. 4 times, I always have to count. Super excited for that. Super excited for that. Do you have some insights you can share with us?
Well, before we talk about that, what we should say is that Riot has proceeded to the next round, and they're going to face the winner of Mystery Roses, or EXP number 1. That's a very, very interesting name. I really like that name. I really like that name.
I had to read this name like 3 times before I completely understood, because it's there's no space in between the things, right?
But I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if they did that because of my jokes that I always say. What's going on, guys? I'm Persuadable, season 1, number 1 EXP. So I wanted to ask their members and be like, "Did y'all make that because of me?" Because I appreciate that joke. In regards to your question, though, Grizzly, I think that we're probably eventually going to go on another intermission, which is usually typically longer. And now I'm being told that we need to send y'all to break, so I'm going to let y'all go on break. And again, thank you so much for being so supportive and kind to us. And this has been a very fun day so far, emceeing over these great players. And thank you, chat, for being so warm and welcoming. And we'll see you soon.
Persuadable, we are back. Oh, are you always do this thing, and I'm like, I can't hear you. We are back from the break. We just saw Eternal Soul going against Riot. Riot is actually proceeding in the bracket. We are going to see LBM versus No. But there's something going on we were kind of expecting to see before you. Persuadable, tell us what's happening right here. Oh, we can't actually hear you. You muted yourself again, didn't you? Didn't you? You did.
I already know there's going to be people who say that was the best part of the stream. I already know. So, yes, I did mute myself. Talking about that, yeah, so B4U was slated to play today. However, we decided to really readjust things to make sure that the players who were playing on stream were more closely evenly matched. Remember, with the bracket system, sometimes that's not always going to be perfect with so many teams. So, yeah, so we listened to the feedback we heard from everybody, and we decided to make an adjustment. And, no. They have 2 tier 6 hunters. They have some tier 6 survivors and LBM. They're all tier 6 survivors. And really, that's why the adjustment was necessary. This is just a byproduct of making sure that you all understand that we paid attention to the feedback before. And I think that transparency is very important, so everybody knows exactly what's going on. And in all fairness, No and LBM, I mean, they're both very good teams. LBM is very well known. I mean, some of these players have been playing since season 1. And No, again, 2 very good tier 6 hunters, a tier 6 survivor, 2 tier 6 survivors. So this should be a really good game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
And before we jump into that, let's just recap the matches between Eternal Soul and Riot. In a few seconds. There we go.
Yeah, you're trying to time that.
So here we can see the matches. Round number 1 to 8. We had Eternal Souls, Ravioli coming in with the Gamekeeper. We saw iAlien coming in with a Bloody Queen, and iAlien was doing a fantastic job. The entire Riot team was doing a fantastic job. Eternal Soul was doing amazing as well, but as we can see, Riot was able to take home the victory in round 1, and the same thing in round 2, where we saw Ravioli utilizing the Feaster, which I was very excited about to see, and also on iAlien's side, Wu Cheng. And this time we can see Riot was able to get 2 clutch matches, getting 5 points for each match in this round. And that means Riot is advancing into the next bracket.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Riot in the finals. Obviously they're going to have some strong competitors, especially with the next 2 who are about to come up. They're in the same side of the bracket, but, within the quarter and semifinals. But really, this is showing everybody really Riot sort of scariness in regards to not only great survivors like Mistake and Green, but really good hunters such as iAlien. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Riot proceed all the way up until the finals. But again, there's going to be some strong teams that get in their way. And 2 of those teams, one of them is about to move forward to the next round after these next 2 matches. And people should be reminded that these 4 teams happen to be on the same side of the bracket. So you can see the winner of this team, the winner of this next round, or a match rather, they have to beat somebody else. And whoever advances forward, you're going to see these 2 teams duking it out in the semifinals.
And I am looking forward to this. Again, LBM versus No.
You see, you got to do it. I'm telling you, you got to count with your fingers. Just count. I don't care if it's embarrassing. I'm over here underneath the webcam. I'm like, no.
Exactly. I'm excited to see it, and I would not be surprised to see Bloody Queen being utilized as always. I would love to see some Dream Witch. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we haven't seen the Dream Witch yet. But on the other side, I'm super happy that we saw some other hunters like the Feaster, like the Gamekeeper. Was expecting Dream Witch, but let's see. Maybe in the next matches. Maybe in the next rounds.
I think we're going to possibly see that. How about Well, we're going to get to the picks and bans right now, and we'll talk about some of the things that we are seeing in regards to character selection. But I do believe No has at least one hunter that really likes to use that Dream Witch. And I actually believe that Kiwi Love likes to use Dream Witch, but I'm going off the top of my head, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. We'll see how that runs in. And remember, LBM is a tier 6, all tier 6 survivors versus a tier 6 hunter with that Seer ban, and we can see, yep, exactly. So look at that, Grizzly. You say you don't see a Dream Witch, and then Dream Witch come out.
Super excited to see it. We are also playing on Lakeside Village. We have the Mechanic, we have the Fort, the Gravekeeper, and the Mercenary. Wait, is this the first match in which we also see a Mechanic? I can't recall seeing a Mechanic before.
This is something that probably should be expected. LBM, they do a lot of research. They've been playing, some of these players have been playing since Season 1, and they know that in the pro leagues over in China, a lot of those teams are still using Mechanic. They're not using Prisoner. And so for Liz Flower, who's been around for a very, very long time, it's not unexpected to see Mechanic. In fact, I'm so surprised that we haven't seen enough Mechanic in this tournament, even after her nerf, which may be surprising for some.
That's what I meant. I'm not surprised to see the Mechanic right now. I was rather surprised that that's the first time in this tournament. But we're gonna see her in action. Lakeside Village. Let's see.
Yep. And again, Kiwi Love is a tier 6 hunter. She primarily specializes in Dream Witch. And no. I forgot to count using my fingers. They do have 2 separate tier 6 hunters who specialize in different things. So we'll see how that plays out a little bit later on. And, not surprising to see that Seer ban. And really, we're seeing a lot of those Seers and Mercenary bans. But again, Seer, one owl can just change the entire outcome of a game. Has that ever happened to you, Grizzly? You feel like you're doing good, and then that owl comes out of nowhere?
That owl, dude. I don't want to talk about that all. No, I don't want to talk about that. Like,
I thought you were gonna say no.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, come on, let's make a little question, and he's like, no, that never. No, I'm not talking about that.
Nope, you're good. So this is Kiwi Love using Dream Witch. This is called the group layout 4, ladies and gentlemen. And you're gonna have somebody who spawns over to the ruins in the left, but somebody that spawns in the middle over here, and that's why she's gonna go towards the middle in this direction. Somebody's at Shack, and somebody is also at Big Ship, most likely decoding.
All right, Gravekeeper taking the first hit while being underground. Good job from Kiwi Love, just relocating, trying to put some more pressure on other survivors on the map. Already having the first leech on the Gravekeeper. That is a really, really good job, just letting the leech go after the Gravekeeper. You can see we have, not even thinking about going for the Mercenary right here. Good job. Mercenary can just take so much time off of the Hunter's hands, so she's relocating right here, trying to find someone else.
She is relocating, but Mechanic is probably doing quite a bit of damage right now. No one's been injured yet, so she's doing a good job at prioritizing. But remember, that's why Mechanic is used.
That's true. And there you can see we have 2 leeches on the Mechanic right now. Actually, that's quite important to actually go for the Mechanic early game, especially since she can do so much of a decoding change on the entire team. Most dangerous survivor when it comes to decoding.
And they have a slow decoding team. This is more typical too in the more of the professional leagues. People who will play Mercenary, Gravekeeper, Forward, and the idea is that if they can pick really good kiting characters, then they're not going to die as fast. And so that's the strategy with this layout, and it's actually the most popular strategy in competitive gameplay. So what you're seeing now is something that may not be too atypical among the top players and the top teams towards the quarterfinals and semifinals and finals.
You can see Ford is coming in for a rescue. I have to be honest, my brain is a little bit hurting already from seeing these switches between the leech and the other leeches and main body.
honestly, Grizzly, if you put the time into it, you can learn Dream Witch. It seems like a daunting task because there's so much multitasking going on, but it's when I started learning her, I felt the same way. But once you get really good using the patroller, if you have good enough ping for that, and using Blink in the case of Kiwi Love, she gets a lot easier to use, and I mean that.
Fantastic job from the Dreamwitch right here, just, using her leeches to get to the fort. But Survivor team is doing a fantastic job as well. We can see they were able to get away from the Hunter with the mechanic. You can see they are doing a lot of decoding right now. Fort wasn't hit. Now relocating to Mercenary getting out of there. You have to say, look at this, one Cypher machine. One Cypher machine remaining. Mechanic is down. And she's now trying to send her leech.
The thing is that with Dream Witch, she can be a very difficult late game. It's not atypical to sometimes have a Dream Witch be down to 2 ciphers, and then by the time that happens, they're slaughtering the rest of the team with all of the leeches on the board. So this is far from over, and we're gonna see how she uses this. And this is why she's so scary on a small map like Arms Factory.
Very right, very right. You can see the mercenary is on the ship right there trying to go for the rescue. You can also see that Kivilov is seeing the 2 survivors that are trying to prime the Cypher machine as fast as they can. Rescue is about to happen. Mechanic. Oh! Good job
good
from
job.
the mercenary. Oh, very nice. Taking the hit. My
Gotta
question
see
is
what they're
how
going to
far
do.
is... I would love to see the progress on the Cypher machine.
I'm telling you, every
Okay.
time we say that, they tell us. Beautiful blink. Oh, did that end up hitting? No.
No, it actually hit no one. Good job for
Wow.
the survivors. Mechanic
Beautiful
is
job
down.
from all of them.
Mechanic will be dead on chair. Just to keep that in mind, we can see Mercenary trying to give...
Oh, they popped it.
That
They
was
had
actually
just enough time.
extremely good. That was such a good job from the Mercenary.
Yeah, Mercenary did a good job making sure that he goes in, heals, and absorbs the hit in order to give them enough time. I know what Kiwi Love was trying to do there. I know what some people are going to say. Why didn't she pick up the mechanic right away? But the problem is that if you pick up the mechanic and you don't have enough time to leech to people on the cipher, it's going to get popped. So it's a decision you make, and sometimes it works in your favor and sometimes it doesn't. So.
Exactly, and she was basically forced to hit the Mercenary, because as Mercenary would heal, but with the Mercenary hit, the leech disappeared.
Gonna use that teleport. She really needs to make sure that she has the ability to at least eliminate one of the individuals. I mean, you don't want to have to put that pressure on the other team or your survivors that have to go in there and try to secure a 4-person victory, especially if they're going to be going against Roland or the other hunter from LBN. I mean, LBM, they're both tier 6. That's difficult.
It is, and we can see that the exit gate right here is open. That's really good job from the survivors. A little bit difficult for Kivilov to... Kivilov knows to bring... They need to bring down at least one survivor to make this at least a 3-point game instead of a 5-point game. Gonna be difficult, gonna be very close, but it's happening right here.
Do they have
Good
the
job.
ability to it? And
Good job.
wow.
Go ahead.
No, I had nothing to say. Just wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
Their ability to really just get one person, really saving those 2 extra points is just so important.
That's true. That's true. Just getting one person out of the game. That's a great job, especially during tournaments like this. Fantastic job on the survivor side. Have to say it, LBM was doing fantastic, getting 3 survivors out of there. The entire coordination of the team was just on point, on point. There was not much for Kivilov to do right there. As you already mentioned, sometimes you have to make decisions, and sometimes one decision seems to be better than the other, and turns out it wasn't. Fantastic job from both sides. Honestly, I was a little bit more quiet this time because my brain was not really processing what was going on with the dream, which you say everyone can learn the dream, which I can prove you wrong.
No, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. We call that self-limiting behavior.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's self-limiting. You're presuming that you couldn't learn it, and I'm telling you that you can. It's interesting because a lot of people have been really practicing Dream Witch and have attested to. Listen, it takes a lot of skill. A Dream Witch takes a lot of skill. I'm not saying it doesn't, but a lot of people decide that they can't do it, and then they just try not to. And I'm telling you, if you put the time and effort into it, you really get used to being able to utilize her abilities correctly. And just as a recap of that, remember that LBM, these are all tier 6 survivors. This is a large map that can be very difficult for a Dream Witch at times. And if I may, Grizzly, I just want to explain that strategy real quick, where when you use those survivors that slows the decoding down, such as Forward, Mercenary, Gravekeeper, what you're really doing is you're forcing the hunter to constantly rotate, because she doesn't want to have to go against a mercenary. She doesn't want to have to go against a good Gravekeeper because he buys so much time. So the entire purpose of that, and we see it actually work, which is why we see it in professional leagues all the time, slow the decoding process down, wait for accelerated decoding, and really force that hunter to consistently rotate. And if the hunter doesn't, they're going to be significantly punished trying to catch up to somebody like Mercenary or Gravekeeper.
Perfectly explained. Thank you so much. And I am curious to see how this is going to proceed. Like, we're going to see LBM on the hunter side in the next round, in the next game. And they already have a little bit of an advantage because they were able to get out of there with 3 survivors. So what they need to do right now is they basically need to tie the next upcoming match to make the round number 1 a win for them. But we are also going to see no on the survivor side, and they can definitely turn things around. So I actually have a question for you. You asked me earlier what survivor I would main, and you were surprised that I said Forward. Where was this, why were you so surprised about that?
Yeah, you call me out on live in front of like 2,000 people right now, man. It's because you're from well, you're sometimes when you're on live feed, let's just say that there's a little bit of choppiness, and that can be very difficult to manage with a forward player, especially trying to utilize the footballs correctly. So,
oh yeah, you are very right. That's
you see what I'm saying? No, genuinely, I see your ping fluctuate all the time. And
Yeah.
I can tell you that, I mean, I play in Southeast Asia and NAEU. When I play in Southeast Asia, I have a 220 ping, which is weird because I should probably come out with a guide, a tier list based on your ping, and tell you which characters are the best for you and still be a competitive player as a survivor. But to play a forward, even with 150, 160 ping can be a little difficult. So when you get higher than that, it's difficult to maneuver in those tight areas. That's why I'm being blunt and I'm being honest. You ask a question, you get an answer.
That's exactly what I want. So what is your main then?
Well, my job is to figure out strategies and analysis. So I experiment all the time. In fact, my hunter win rate has literally dropped by 30%. I have not enjoyed my life recently playing hunter. But you asked a question about survivor. My original main was obviously the thief and forward, and then I changed towards perfumer around season 4 or 5, and then from there, I kind of just try to relax a little bit, play whatever survivor I feel like playing, and sometimes I pay the consequences dearly for that. And let's move on to the picks and bans that we were about to see. And remember, we are seeing Roland. I've played Roland plenty of times. He's a very, very good hunter. Tier 6 hunter. And what we're seeing over by the way, before we talk about the characters, we are seeing Proud Sensei, who's been around for a very long time. He's actually a tier 6 hunter, but playing survivors tier 5. We see Violet also playing, who's tier 6, and Lambrusco, who's tier 6 as well. And Clockfire has been playing for a very long time. I believe over like a couple, many thousands of matches. So if you want to talk about some of the characters.
Yeah, we saw the Seer ban right there. We can now see Mercenary, Perfumer, Gravekeeper, and Forward being utilized. As you already said, all of these players are they are playing the game for a very long time. They know how to play the game and they know how to coordinate. And I think if someone can go against Roland, then it's absolutely no. Oh, damn, I messed it up, I guess.
I'm telling you gotta count with the fingers.
So what I want to say is that I think that they can actually turn around the tables right here. I'm really excited to this. I told you this before. I would love to see a round 3, no matter in what team we are talking about. I would love to see a round 3 because then we would see 2 hunter picks, 2 hunter bans, and I think even 3 survivor bans. And that is something that I'm really looking forward to see more bans and just like kind of forcing these players to play a little bit out of their comfort zone. So let's see what no can bring to the table right here.
And one of the things that we should mention is that when we were trying to select the teams in regards to, which ones we thought would be very entertaining to watch, at least, trying to get that high tier caliber play. No. I used my fingers there, Grizzly. No.
I counted while you were staying.
I know you did. You're like fact checking my nose. They were very eager to come on stream, and I applaud them for that because they know LBM is an amazing team. They know that these players have been around forever. And no looked at that and said, we accept the challenge and we want to go on live feed. And I appreciate them stepping up to the challenge. And real quickly, if we talk about the group number that we're seeing here, to be honest with you, I don't even think I remember. I think this might be group 7. Yeah, this is group 7. 2 people will be in front of her, 1 at Shack and 1 in between Shack and Crab Shack.
Going for the Grave Keeper right away. Good hit.
Roland did a good job there not using the mirror right away. Was able to find the survivor, hit them, and then use the mirror afterwards. So that should be recognized that Roland understands I'm not going to use my mirror too soon. And did a good job at that and being able to get that first hit. So we should expect another dig here to buy as much time as possible.
Good job from Proud Sensei, just throwing down that pellet, trying to make the kite longer whenever he uses his ability. But Roland destroying the pellet, forcing him to get out of there. That's gonna be a little bit of a tough situation right here. Might be a hit for Roland. Fantastic job utilizing the tree mid to bring down the Grave Keeper quite early in the game. It's always crucial to bring down the first survivor early in the games. Fantastic job. Going for the Grave Keeper as well. We already said Grave Keeper can be really difficult to hunt down early game, but if we look at the survivor picks in general, it is Forward, Mercenary, Perfumer, Grave Keeper. All of these survivors are, not what you want to find early game, so therefore Roland making the right decision, going for the first one he saw. Now Mercenary is coming in for a rescue, taking the hit, rescuing in time before the halfway mark went through.
Beautiful blink.
Taking a hit with the blink. That was a good one. Just, getting the Mercenary out of there. Mercenary needs a really long time to get up. So that is putting the survivors in a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to decoding. And now going for the Grave Keeper as well.
Yeah, and in the beginning of the game, the big thing as a Grave Keeper is that it's important for you to try to at least be in the best position that you can. But with a spawn like that, with a Blood Queen, you have 2 people who spawn somewhat in front of you. And as a Grave Keeper, if you can't set up your environment, including putting pallets down, etc., it can be very difficult. And so that's why Blood Queen decided to really tunnel the Grave Keeper in a good way, in the manner of being able to take him down. But that's the reason also why Blood Queen is banned so much. And so this team comp, if you go down from good hunter gameplay, then you really got to worry about that decoding later, because you really got to learn how to catch up. And that's going to be difficult for this team since 4 ciphers are still remaining. But if anyone could do it, it's no.
Totally agree. Roland doing a fantastic job though, hitting the Mercenary again. Mercenary was healed by the Forward. Can see that there was no chance to get the Grave Keeper off the chair. That means 1 survivor is already out of the game. We have 3 Cypher machines remaining. This is putting A lot of pressure on the survivor side because they need to get 3 survivors out of there to tie the first round, and they know it. Can see Ford is coming in for a rescue, but that also means that we only have 1 survivor on the Cypher machines right now, 1 survivor decoding, and again, they still need 3 Cypher machines. Okay, little dash right there, trying to avoid the terror shock, taking the hit right here. Probably going for the mercenary first, and actually after mercenary is down, might transition to the Ford if she's giving the mercenary a hit in time. Ford actually relocating.
Mercenary's really trying to put as much distance as he can to really waste time with that transitional kiting and using the elbow pads appropriately. He's maximizing the fact that she used that mirror before the rescue, and so that's what Mercenary was trying to do, is buy as much time. But honestly, Bloody Queen is in a really good position here. They're only at 3 ciphers. I'm sure they're doing 2 of them right now. But this is going to be a little difficult because what's happening right now, Grizzly, is this individual transition towards the middle, and that's going to be difficult for these survivors now to finish these ciphers.
You can also see mercenaries on the ground. 1 Cypher machine remaining. As far as I know, the mercenary can still get up if he heals himself, but Ford being down, that is quite a difficult situation for the survivors. Roland doing a fantastic job, trying to make out the last survivor, trying to make out Lamborghini, the perfumer, but bring the mercenary to the chair first. That means that either the perfumer or the Ford, if he is able to get up in time, needs to rescue the mercenary. Again, if 2 survivors are out of the game, that means that LBM is winning the first round.
Right,
So
and they know that.
Yep,
They will. Expect Lambrusco, I think that's how you say it. I like that name, by the way. Expect, there is the rescue right there as well. But again, they're at that 1 cipher, so they need to pull something off here. They're doing a good job, trying to do the best that they can to rotate and transition with rescues with one another. But it is, the good thing here is that the Forward is in this corner here. I don't know where the other 2 ciphers are on the other side of the map, so they gotta figure something out in regards to who's gonna go in. They're gonna heal somebody, most likely the mercenary, because he can absorb hits, and have them go in for the rescue. But you got to be careful. If you get chaired, I think mercenary dies on chair, correct?
No, I don't think so. I think he still has, or no, he's dead on chair. You're right. He was sitting on the chair quite some time. You can see that Roland is, going full Lambrusco right there, using the perfume but not going back. That also gives the mercenary enough time to rescue the Forward.
Oof, good.
I didn't see that she was having a teleportation. Again, Roland wants to bring out 1 more survivor out of this game, and right now it's kind of protecting the Forward. And that's exactly what is happening right here. Ford is out of the game. This pretty much decides round number 1 for LBN. But they still still wants to put up a good fight right here. You can see Perfumer is decoding as well as the Mercenary. I wish we could see the decoding progress on these Cypher machines.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time we say that, it pops up. I've been keeping track, like I've been counting on my fingers every time I say no.
Clockfire is in actually quite a good position right there, right next to the dungeon as well. It seems like Roland knows where the perfumer is thanks to the wiggling Cypher machine over here. Now going to put pressure on both Cypher machines because again Roland knows where the perfumer is, knows where the mercenary is, and that's just a tough situation for the survivors right here. Playing against such a high skilled Bloody Queen. There we go. Perfumer is down. We have the mercenary over there opening up an item box. Did I see that right? Yeah.
Don't be too surprised though. These survivors they go against tier 6s all the time, and this is just really showing how great Roland is doing, utilizing this Blood Queen, and the match really went in Roland's favor within that first 15 seconds, being able to catch that Gravekeeper where Roland did, and that just attests to Roland's ability to transition immediately, understanding spawn points, and that was probably the best case scenario for Roland, as well as, I mean, going after a perfumer, that's also ideal in this team comp, believe it or not. I know most people are like, no way, you'd never want to go after a perfumer, but in a team comp like this, if you're not a Blood Queen, usually you're forced to.
Yeah, pretty much. And we saw that Bloody Queen just picked up the perfumer right before she healed herself. She is sitting on the rocket chair for the first time, so maybe the mercenary can go in for a rescue. But that's just a tough spot right there, because oh no, he might actually catch up. He might actually be able to rescue the perfumer. But again, you already said it. I think mercenary is dead on chair.
I don't think he's gonna get. Oh, he might. Wow.
He is.
No, so close. So
was
close.
actually-
There was no elbow pads left, so they
I
tried
felt that.
they tried the best that they could, though. That's excellent that they didn't give up. Look at Clockfire not giving up. Good for Clockfire. They're still
Yeah,
struggling,
that was-
being like, nope.
Fantastic job from the survivors. I mean, they are down to one Cypher machine. Just facing Roland right here, such a top tier hunter, LBM's hunter player, Bloody Queen. It's difficult. It's difficult. Fantastic job. I'm clicking on continue. Sorry. I was just using my. I was seeing that screen. I was like, come on, continue. And I was like, oh, no, I can't.
I think I could hear the clicks, and I was like, what's happening?
I was so confused.
Yeah, so again, very excellent job from Roland, able to secure them 16 strikes, and look at the decoding from the perfumer, 300%. They really tried the best that they could, and again, this is why Bloody Queen is banned so much. I mean, that early game pressure and ability to really find somebody, and even if not, the ability to use your ability in order to find somebody makes her an excellent candidate for both early game, late game, mid game, and short maps and large maps.
Yes, that's why she's one of the best hunters in the game right now. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Bloody Queen ban in the second round that we are going to see in the next few minutes. Super excited. You probably have some insights on the hunter players right here. You know Kivilov, you know Roland. So what can you tell us about the hunters that they are playing beside their main hunters like Bloody Queen?
Well, the interesting thing about No is that they also have another hunter called PC, who, if I recall correctly, specializes in Mad Eyes. But what everyone needs to understand is that in this tournament, and in any tournament usually, you have to send the players out first. So and that's an important distinction. So survivors don't just ban a hunter without knowing who that hunter player is. And so that's where it makes it very difficult for some to be able to go out there and transition out. So the question is Kiwi Love going to be the hunter, or are they going to transition PC in? And does PC have the skill set to kind of use more than just Mad Eyes? But Kiwi Love and PC are both very good hunters. And we're talking about No. They're both tier 6 hunters. So we're going to have to see what tools that PC has in his arsenal. But one other thing, and I know I'm talking a lot right now, Grizzly, is that there is only one, what is it called? Not rotation. What is that called? One substitute allowed in any series other than the final. So if Kiwi Love was the hunter and you switch her out for PC, then PC is now stuck playing round 2 and 3, as far as my understanding of the rules.
I mean, would be interesting to see. I would love to see a Mad Eyes. But I wanted to ask you a really interesting question, something that was really on my mind, and I need to ask you this after the break because
okay, good.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into a short break right now, and after that I'm gonna ask you a question that is on my mind. So we will see you in about, I think, 5 minutes.
Bye, boo-boos.
Welcome back to round 2, LBM versus No. We saw LBM deciding the first round for themselves, and now we are jumping into round 2. And I mentioned it before we jumped into the break. I have a question because that is something that I was always wondering about. How do you actually, first of all, it seems like there is a group layout 7. Like, are there 7 different layouts? That's, first of all, I can't get this into my brain. Do you have any tips for us, for me, for maybe someone who is watching, on how we can learn these, group layouts, where the survivor spawn, where the hunter spawns?
Yeah, become a coach. When you're coaching a team,
that
trust me,
easy.
you got to get that down. No, believe it or not, Leo's memory actually has 9 spawns instead of 7. But there is a thing called choke points, and choke points are very important because it means that if you spawn in a certain point of the map, there's some guaranteed hunter spawns. Just as one example, Grizzly, if you spawn in Arms Factory by that water jug tower ruins by that exit gate, that's called a choke point. And that means that it's group layout 2, and it means that the hunter definitively spawns to the left of Big Factory or Arms Factory. And the way that we know that is that there's only one spawn point that is in that area. And so we call those choke points. And you'll get it down if you pay close attention as a hunter and a survivor. It takes a lot of attention to detail.
And is it easier to remember these points if you're on the survivor side or if you're on the hunter side?
Easier on the hunter side because you can always remember where the survivors spawn. But remember that there's a 15-meter difference. So even though you'll know the spot, they can spawn within 15 meters of that. Think of Red Church. Somebody can spawn next to Shack on Red Church, and sometimes they'll be inside of it. Sometimes they'll be outside of it. That's the same with Leo's memory. Sometimes you'll actually spawn on top of the staircase, and sometimes you'll be off of it. But yeah, it's easier to do as a hunter.
All right, thank you so much, dude. That is, I need to get this down after this tournament. That's the first thing I'm going to do, and I think that actually improves the gameplay of everyone. So if you're watching and you want to improve the gameplay, that is something you need to know where survivors are, especially as hunter, and you want to go for the survivors. You kind of need to know in which direction you're going. And I'm always super impressed when I watch these tournaments because everyone seems to know exactly what they are doing. Like, on point, they are going for the survivors. And I'm super impressed with that. We saw it today, Eternal Soul versus Riot. They were all doing a fantastic job. We are having LBM versus No right here. Super excited to see these teams competing against each other. We're going to jump into the first matches of the second round in a few minutes. And I'm just curious to see the bans, the picks, and the map that we are playing on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, again, depending on the map selection, that's where you see a lot of different hunters that be utilized. I think one of the errors that I did when I first started Identity 5, when I was coming out with my character tier list, is that it was a good way to generically define players and characters, rather. But what really is the correct answer is that different characters excel on different maps. Especially in tournament gameplay, and that can also differ from legendary rank mode. As an example, Bonbon in legendary rank mode, you can get away with it on a map like Lakeside and Moonlit, but on a tournament gameplay, very difficult to do. We've seen some of the best Bonbons get rotated on because of that communications that don't exist in legendary rank mode. So it's all going to really depend on the map.
That's right. And while we are talking about it, I know that you don't really like... Okay, you know what? Let's talk about the picks first. We're gonna see Mad Eyes. We talked about this off stream a little bit. We have the Hunter of... give me a second. Of no. Changing to PC. They were picking Kivilov for the first round. Now they are changing to PC. PC is a well-known Mad Eyes player. Therefore, the Mad Eyes ban is not that surprising. It's really not that surprising. And we can see on the survivor bans, we have the Priestess and the Seer. We are facing the Red Church map. So these bans are making a lot of sense as well. You can see this flower using the mechanic again. We have a forward, Gravekeeper, and Mercenary. What I'm looking forward to see is which hunter is PC utilizing now. We have the Mad Ice bands. He's known for being a top Mad Ice. Will he utilize the Dream Witch or no? Excuse me, the Bloody Queen. I'm always messing up Dream Witch and Bloody Queen. Will he use the Bloody Queen on the Red Churchman since she is such a powerful hunter, or does PC have another hunter up his sleeve that he can utilize during the second round? Yeah.
And that's something that we must discuss, is that a lot of these specialty hunters, they spend so much time getting good at those characters such as Gamekeeper, Mad Eyes, even Feaster, and it takes a lot of time to learn some of these characters. And really, what a lot of these main starting hunters or even backup hunters need to start focusing on after this tournament is their ability to also master the meta. Because what's going to happen is that if you come in and you ban my specialty Mad Eyes, well, I'm also very good with Blood Queen. I'm not talking about me, I'm figuratively speaking, by the way. And you send in Blood Queen, right? And so that's something that I think a lot of these specialty hunters are starting to realize. And you're starting to see some variety in regards to what specialty hunters are starting to do. Because really, in my opinion, specialty hunters, they can be some of the most dangerous hunters in the game, but sometimes they spend so much time on learning that hunter that they don't know how to play too many of the other hunters, which makes them incredibly weak after round one when they can start banning hunters. So that's the question. Does PC have the tools in their box in order to surprise these survivors and say, okay, you banned my Mad Eyes? Fine. But I got this guy or girl and we're going to stomp some... Yeah, I'm going to stop myself there.
I bet PC has something up his sleeve because we know this is round 2 and we also know that both teams know each other. They researched each other and it was kind of obvious that if they would bring in PC that LBM would ban Mad Eyes. So therefore I think it was predicted that Mad Eyes is getting banned and they wouldn't send in PC if he was only good with Mad Eyes. So I think he definitely has something up his sleeve. We can see it is the Soul Weaver right here. I'm honestly excited to see the Soul Weaver because she, in my eyes, was always one of the most dangerous hunters. She still is to this date. And we're gonna jump into the match.
All right, so this is within the church itself. You have somebody at Shack, somebody at what we call Wed and Broken. PC's not gonna go towards either one of them, and is going to rotate over here, see if somebody is what we call back gate, and if they're over here, stick with them. If not, rotate towards Shack, and we can see somebody is here. And so this is who PC is going to continue to go after. But very important here, Spider was able to see that that was a mercenary, so what Spider's going to do is rotate, and we're going to see how Spider can utilize their webs in this area. This is traditionally a strong area of what we call graveyard.
Exactly, because of her ability to put down these webs to get this speed going. Found the fort, but that's obviously not the perfect find, especially since we have the mechanic in the game. So we have PC still transitioning to find another survivor. Is now pretty much going into the right direction, trying to find the mechanic, trying to check out the cipher machines right here, realizing that there's probably no one near. Oh no, there is the doll going to bring down the doll, which is actually really good because the doll obviously helps decoding for the survivors. Lizflower still rotating right here, trying to get away because PC got a ping after he hit the doll, and we can see doing a fantastic job predicting the rotation, but still is a need to find these survivors. We can see there are still 5 cipher machines up and running, but everyone is decoding right here. There was not a single hit so far. PC just really running around trying to oh, there we go. Lizflower was trying to hide behind the shack, and now is going to be the preferred survivor to be being chased. Dude.
And so we can expect this hit right here on Mechanic. Remember that this is, it's unfortunate for PC because PC understood the rotations and the spawns, but that's the purpose of using this team comp. Wow, beautiful blink right there. Excellent job to get Lizflower down. And again, we talked about this team comp, Grizzly, where when you play these characters like Gravekeeper, Mercenary, and Forward, you're really hoping that the Spider or Hunter doesn't rotate on the mechanic right away. And so that's what the whole purpose of this opportunity with these characters is. Make sure you run into the Mercenary, Gravekeeper by a little bit of luck. Beautiful stun. That was a really good stun right there. And really rotate so your other people can keep decoding. And here we go with the rescue.
I really like that stun, and
beautiful
you can
job.
see that, yeah, Ford is just trying to buy more time for this flower to get out of there. Fantastic job. We are down to 2 Cypher machines, which means that we have the Gravekeeper and the Mercenary decoding. Mercenary, both are at around 40% with their Cypher machines. And what we can expect is that PC is trying to bring down the mechanic again and trying to focus on the mechanic. Definitely wants to get that hit right here. Terror Shock over the pallet. Fantastic job getting the speed from the webs and now bringing this flower on the rocket chair yet again. We can see that the Ford is... No, it's actually the Mercenary who is going to transition in for the rescue. While
Liz Flower did a very good job rotating away from all of the Cypher machines. That's something that I want the viewers to pay close attention to. It's not just about your kiting ability, but this is what separates LBM, and you know, they'd probably be on par with the pros even in China League, in my opinion, because they understand rotations and they understand kiting routes that are away from the Cyphers.
Ooh, what a rescue. Fantastic job. Coming in with Tide Turner, giving an additional 20 seconds right here, which could be the 20 seconds that they need to bring down the last Cypher machine, or to at least getting it ready to pop.
Yeah, she's gonna wait for it. Yep. Here's what's happening. Spider's being careful, and Spider's gonna wait for that web shot because he knows. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Gets that hit. Again, I missed the Cypher pop. I don't get no sound with the Cypher. Do you get the Cypher pops down?
No, I was, dude. I thought it was before the Cypher pop. I was waiting for the mechanic to get up.
No, I can't even blame coffee anymore because I got a lot of coffee in me. You hear that East Coast accent? Coffee.
So what we saw right there was the mechanic getting down after the Cypher pop. Mechanic was dead on chair, and this is allowing PC to actually, you know, catching up and eventually, hopefully for PC to get at least one more survivor out of there, making this tie. But of course, LBM is trying to get 3 survivors out of there.
He's gonna web shot this. He has to web shot, and no, he cannot afford to. If he pops up, he might be able to hit them away. This is gonna be difficult. This is gonna come down to timing. What?
Oh.
Nope, no, he's purposely doing that to get him to use his skill. Is he gonna be able to? This is about a whole bunch of patience. Yeah. Is he gonna be able? Here we go. Get ready for it, Grimly.
Oh, nice!
No. Oh, beautiful job from Gravekeeper. There we go. Now you're getting my energy out of me.
That was definitely a fantastic mind game from both sides right here. Fantastic web shot, but actually getting through with jumping through the dungeon. Gravekeeper did a fantastic job, getting 3 points for LBM right here. 1 point for no. Here we can see the stats. We can really see the decoding going on from the Gravekeeper, as well as from all the other survivors. Mechanic basically being the main target of the Hunter, and we also saw her, you know, getting sent back. Fantastic job from all survivors. As you already mentioned, they know rotations. They know how important it is to get away from the Cypher machines, even when they are getting down. All in all, fantastic job from both sides, and it was really, really close to a tie, but Gravekeeper was pulling through and actually getting through the dungeon.
Right, and one of the things that we spoke about during that match, and this is something that a lot of teams can learn from LBM, is that it's not just about rotating against the Hunter early game and mid game. Your responsibility as a kiter is to make sure that you don't run into your team. Now, in legendary rank mode, I mean, that's difficult. It's hard to pay attention to pings all the time. But with verbal communications, you really need to make sure that whatever kiting route you're choosing, you're not running into people Now, it's okay to run into people in certain circumstances, but late game, Mechanic actually was very good at making sure that she rotated towards Wedden and towards that back corner, even if she wouldn't be able to kite as long as what she would have been if she was able to hop Big Church and use the windows to her advantage. If she goes down, well, she's still close to the other ciphers that were being worked on. And that's very important that people understand that what Liz Flower did was very calculated, and it helped lead them to win the match, because if you transfer into where the decoding is being done, it's going to really prolong the match. And that one move saved them the win, as well as what Gravekeeper did.
Yes, I have nothing to add on that. That was all in all Mechanics transition to the away from the cipher machines obviously gave the rest of the team the time that they needed to decode that cipher machine. And unfortunately, we didn't, like you already said, we don't hear the cipher pop, and that was a little bit surprising for me as well. I didn't expect the cipher pop to happen before the Mechanic actually took the hit. But all in all, fantastic job from the Spider, fantastic job from PC. It was so close at the end. I couldn't tell who would get out of there. Would the Spider actually get the Gravekeeper, or was the Gravekeeper going through the dungeon? It was so, I don't know. Fantastic job from both sides.
The good thing that Gravekeeper did there was he was able to use his dig. He got hit, so he absorbed that hit. And then he was able to kite in that area just long enough for that to reemerge, right? Because there's a cooldown, and bought just enough time in order to use that again. And that's very difficult to hit a Gravekeeper under the ground with a web shot. And it's good. It shows you that PC knew what needed to be done, and that can be very difficult. And remember, one of the things that all of the viewers should be reminded is that this is what happens with tournament gameplay sometimes is you rotate into these survivors and you're hoping you're finding the Mechanic first. You run into the Gravekeeper. You run into the forward. You could see that the Spider knew the routes and exactly where to go next. But that's just going to happen sometimes in terms of that gamble and hoping that you spawn directly on top of that Mechanic first. And when it doesn't work in your favor, it can be very detrimental.
Yeah. And as you just said, finding the mercenary first, then finding the forward right there. Good call from PC to actually not going for one of these survivors. Yes, they are.
I like that. Just
I always hear twice. I hear it in my ear, and then you're like, the bands are coming. I'm like, yeah.
And there we go. Blood Queen band. Roland did a very good job utilizing that Blood Queen, so they don't want to deal with that again. Remember, Roland has been playing for a very long time. I've played against Roland plenty of times, and it's always a difficult battle going against Roland. He's a very, very good hunter for a very long time. Tier 6 hunter. And remember that, you know, the survivors, the majority of them are also tier 6 as well. And we see that Priestess and that Mercenary band, but never mind. We see that Mercenary and that Seer band. And the question is who is Roland going to use? What is the trick up Roland's sleeve here? Are we going to see the old school Clown or Ripper? We'll see what Roland's going to utilize here.
I'm super interested to see that. I mean, Spider was a really good pick for the red shirt right there. We can see forward Prospector. I'm not sure. I think that's also the first time we see a Prospector during this tournament. Perfumer and Clockfire is coming in with another survivor in a few seconds.
Yep, this is a true fact, Grizzly, but one of the best players that I've ever coached, who unfortunately the server never got to see compete in a tournament, was a Prospector main. One of the dirtiest Prospector mains I've ever seen play in this game.
And there we go. We have the first officer as pick for Blockfire. Now we are just waiting for Roland. Oh, picking the Guard 26 right here. That would be something I would absolutely enjoy to watch right here.
And also the reason why he banned Mercenary, though, as a bomb player, there's a correct sequence. You put your bombs down, try to use your remote bomb with it, all explodes. and then what you do is you put another bomb down, and then you swing. And so you hit that first bomb, you throw a second bomb down real quick, you swing, so that's 75%, and then the bomb will take off, and that's how you can prevent the rescue. And Mercenary gets in the way of that strategy, so that's why you're seeing a lot of Mercenary bans when people play Bonbon.
Makes sense, makes sense. We're just waiting for Roland to, you know, ready up right here, and then we're gonna jump into the second match of round number 2, LBM between No on the red church map. I'm actually looking forward to Guard 26. I always love to see top Guard 26 players utilizing that hunter, and I love to learn something from them. We always can learn something from the top hunter players, and honestly, lately I'm playing a lot of Guard 26. But let's talk about the crew playout real quick.
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of Guard 26, and I lost like 30% to my win rate. So anyway, Bonbon is now going to be spawned in what we call Group 6. This over here is called either Wed and Broken or Wed and Ruins, but some people call it Top Ruins, which I still think is the wrong call out. But either way, there's actually 2 people who are usually around this area, so that's why he's going to go this way. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, that when Bonbon uses their bombs, if he does hit, they pop out of that pocket watch. But Bonbon knows I'm not going to waste my time on first officer. I've already made him use 1 pocket watch. He's only got 1 left, and so I'm going to move on. And that was an excellent choice from Roland.
Going for the perfumer right here. We can see the double tap bomb, 1-2 tap bomb, and there we go, making her teleport back and still hitting her with another bomb as well. Perfect bomb placement on the perfume, and there comes the remote bomb, bringing down the perfumer so fast, making her use one of her perfumes. Fantastic job from Roland right here.
Yeah, and he's putting those bombs down just in case if the forward was near him, but and that's why he put the bombs down just in case. When he picks up, if forward goes in for a yep. And this is why he did that, by the way. He doesn't want to allow the Bonbon to set up the bombs. So it's not atypical for forwards to do exactly what's being done here. Go for the instant rescue, because if you allow a Bonbon to set up all those bombs, it's very difficult. That's just the honest truth.
Fantastic job from Roland right there. We had before trying to buy the perfumer more time right here, taking a little bit of a bomb hit, but dodging the actual hit. Now we can see that's going to be very difficult. That's going to be very difficult.
And that's going to be difficult for the forward as well. That's in the wide open.
Oh, nice hit, nice blink.
Showing the destructive side of Bonbon. Again, this is why, in my opinion, Bonbon is S tier, especially on certain maps. But again, when we start talking about those generic character tier lists, people forget that some hunters are S tier on some maps and not on others. But I mean, Bonbon is just so dangerous. We actually saw in the professional league over in China, the #1 hunter using Bonbon and beating the former #1 team. So I mean, it's a very, very dangerous hunter.
We can see that the forward was actually rotating out of this area, just, you know, taking another bomb hit, bring him down. That's a really, really dangerous rescue, therefore going to get a little bit of a healing right there. We can see that both of them are actually transitioning away from Lambrusco right here and just trying to get the kite going, trying to give the team enough time to code another Cypher machine. We can see clock fire on the Cypher machine on the other side of the map. Forward is going in front of the church to decode a Cypher machine, and now it's basically on the Prospector to get a really, really good kite going. Oh, taking the bombs right there. Fantastic job from Roland. Trying to hit another bomb and making it difficult for the Prospector to get out of there.
That's good bomb placement. He just completely took him off his route, but that was a very good magnet right there. So we're going to see if he was anticipating a bomb right there too. That bomb placement was really, really good. I mean, Roland, you can tell he's been practicing this Bonbon.
He only needs to get one more hit with the bomb going, and he knows that he's trying to connect 2 bombs. Right here we can see it throwing on the first one, waiting for it, and there!
Wow.
What a nice throw of the second bomb, bringing down the Prospector right here before the two Cypher machines were down, primed. You can see that Clockfire is going in for a rescue. We have the Ford just decoding right there at 67%. Oh, nice.
Are you lagging?
And no.
No, I didn't see anything that just happened.
Okay. Prospector
I
was
just see
rescued.
they got rescued.
He got rescued. He has Titan. He sadly took a hit, or sadly for the Prospector, but in favor of Roland, took the hit with the bomb and is now going down. Will be sent on a rocket chair again. We can see there's one Cypher machine remaining. We need to keep in mind, LBM already got 3 points in the previous match. This is round 2. That means no. Need to match this game right here, this fight against Bonbon with another 3 survivor escape as well. So it is necessary for them to actually rescue the Prospector right now.
Beautiful move. And one of the things I wanted to say is that it's very difficult to rescue when both of the teammates have 25% damage done, because if you hit them with one bomb, it's just a regular attack after there. And good job from Roland. I believe this now means that they are going to proceed to the next round, if I recall, because they needed 3 survivors to escape, right?
Very right. That's what I just meant. They needed to get 3 survivors out of there. They are now getting a tie, which means LBM will proceed to the next bracket. Still putting up a good fight. We have Clockfire right there trying to... Oh, very nice. Trying to get out of sight of Roland. It's now sneaking in.
Yeah, one of the things that people really need to remember too is that LBM is just such a dangerous team. They've been playing for a very long time, and if I were to make a prediction, I would not be surprised if in the semifinals you're going to see LBM versus Riot. Now, both teams will have competition before that, of course. You have other teams out there right now, Grizzly, like Vortex, and some other. You have Complex. You have a bunch of other teams out there that may get in that way. But again, if I see these teams, if I see LBM and Riot in the semifinals, I will not be surprised, and that's going to be a very, very cutthroat match if both end up facing each other, which would be next weekend.
I can only agree on that. We just saw Riot in the previous matches. We saw LBM performing extremely well, getting 3 survivors out of the game, was not able to get the first officer. First officer doing a fantastic job transitioning over to the dungeon, getting out of there, but sadly, after all, they had to get 3 survivors out of the game, not only 1, and therefore this concludes round 2 as a victory for LBM, and therefore, as we already said, LBM will proceed in the brackets. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see LBM facing Riot, and they are going to fight against each other.
Yep, I predict that within the semifinals. But again, you got to be careful with predictions, because there are still a lot of good teams that both of those teams are going to have to go against. But I do want to give a shout out to No. Listen, No understands that LBM is a very good team, and No was very eager to come on live feed and show their skill set. And I really hope that people commend them for doing so, because, to show your gameplay in front of thousands of people, I mean, it is a daunting task. And so I would like to thank all of the teams really today who have decided to come out and show their gameplay. And hopefully that we were able to provide some good feedback and good commentary. And I also want to thank the tournament organizers for allowing us to have a lot of input in which teams would be streamed today. I think that this was a successful day, and I want to thank all of the commenters and the viewers for being so supportive and allowing us to adapt some of the feedback that we got from day one. And again, we appreciate all of you and everybody competing and all of the viewers. It's very important to Grizzly and I.
That's very true. And my respect also goes out to all the players that are just putting their gameplay in front of thousands of people to watch. And this is just such a stressful situation. There's so much pressure on them, and that's something I really respect. And as you already said, a huge thank you to the community, to everyone who is watching, to everyone who was organizing this entire tournament behind the scenes. We have to admit, yesterday was a rough start, but I hope that we were able to, adapt to what was going on and bringing you a great day too. And we are going to bring you the best that we can. We are doing our part to make this tournament fun for day 3, for day 4, for day 5, and for the final day. Right now, we are going to see the results of today. We already talked about Eternal Soul versus Riot. Right here, we have Riot on the winning side. And what we just saw was LBM versus No. And LBM was just winning the first round with 8 points to 1, and the second round with 6 points to 2.
Yep. And so we're going to see both of these proceed forward. And just like you said, I want to give a shout out to all of these players. I mean, to come on live feed is a daunting task. And remember, I'm proud of all the players. You guys came out here. You showed some good gameplay. And we'll try to deliver the same thing tomorrow. Remember, early brackets can be very difficult, ladies and gentlemen, because there are tier gaps that exist. But I'll do the best that I can to make sure that we pick the right teams, the best to our ability. And very excited for the gameplay that we're going to see. And we'll be on tomorrow as well at the same time. And this is also going to continue next weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we plan on streaming the entire quarterfinals. So the top 8 teams, you're going to see all of that between Friday and Saturday. And you're also going to see the semifinals and finals be played out on Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday are going to be very long days if they keep with this schedule.
And I am excited to see that because, as we already mentioned at the very beginning of the stream, the skill gap between these teams will definitely close in and always be almost be non-existent. And therefore, I'm assuming that we are seeing a few round 3s, and of course in the finals we play a best out of 5. So we're definitely gonna see a round 3, maybe even round 4 or round 5. And that means more survivor bans, more hunter bans, and that also means that they are out of their comfort zone and they have to show something, maybe a few tricks that they have up their sleeve. And I'm absolutely excited to see that.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. My name's Persuadable. It's been a joy working with you all.
And my name is Gaming Grizzly, as you can see underneath me. We're going to end this for today. I hope to see you all tomorrow on day 3. It was a pleasure to have you all. Until then, have a great night.
Bye, guys.